time now is 9:37. Welcome back into Good Morning Arkansas. We're back with our sponsors from River Valley Tractor. Ethan Jennings is here. Today we're talking about deer stand maintenance. And Ethan, thank you for coming in timely as ever, because as we know, some deer seasons have already started. Of course, modern gun starts a little bit later. About a month from now, I believe, is when modern gun starts, give or take. So you probably have, as Melinda mentioned, there are days, work days, where guys go out there, try to make sure everything is not only clear, but safe. And I know how important that is for so many deer camps here around the state of Arkansas. So you guys have some equipment that'll not only make it a little bit easier, but also make the stand area a little bit safer. So what'd you want to bring in today? Just a couple things here before we get to some of the items at the store that won't fit in studio, by the way. So what would you want to talk about here today?
So right here, I mean, obviously your chainsaw, what I call a pole saw or extendable chainsaw, you know, whatever you want to call it. For cutting your roads going in, your lanes that you're going to be shooting down, anywhere around your deer stand. This is going to be for your ground level stuff if you want to cut some trees and cut some brush, and then obviously limbs that are going to be a lot higher than what you can get with this. You can extend this out and get up there and cut whatever you need to.
How high are we talking about?
It depends on which one you've got, but you can get way up there.
Okay, so this one's set. Can we extend this one out? You want to try it?
Let's try it.
You want to try it? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna extend it out. Let's see how far we can go. Untwist? All right, so here we go. You got that side? All right, so you gotta untwist a little bit more.
Brand new, so it's a little
it is
tight.
brand new. You know what? It might be locked in some type of locked position.
We just put it together.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So this is brand new. So we're extending this thing out as far as we think it'll go.
That's the end of it.
So that's the end of it right there. Okay, so this one, look at this extension, folks. I mean, you almost can't even get it all the way on camera, but this is great though, Ethan, because a lot of times you find yourself on a stand trying to cut limbs down, and that's why you're saying this isn't so much for carrying up on a stand. How many accidents can happen with something like this, right?
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. This, on the other hand, you can be pretty safe on the ground, cut plenty of things up top.
There and cut them.
All right, let me go ahead and extend. I'll bring this back in because I mean, there are only so many square feet that we have to work here. All right, so let me go ahead and. But look how easy that was. Brand new equipment, nothing to it. Just like that. We've got it. Okay, so these two you want to bring in studio because we could. But there are a couple other things. Mini excavator?
That's something that's really overlooked by a lot of people, especially these bigger deer camps when you've got a lot of people in them that could use it. They've got a blade on the front to push roads open, a bucket to help dig drainage, because I've never been on a deer lease that didn't have washouts across the road.
Yeah.
Something that's actually really handy, a smaller one that you can just keep around at the deer camp to, like I said, cut ditches and push dirt around and really push small trees over, and they do a lot of work.
Shrubs and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And how much grows in the off season when you're not there? And you think, oh, that won't be that bad. And then you get there during the season or right before, and you realize, oh, I really need to move.
You can't even get back there. Yeah, you can't drive through it, or especially a lot of these older guys want to drive all the way to your stand and not have to really walk, and you have to keep those roads open to be able to do that.
And this is an investment too. I mean, you talk about something that will last a lifetime for the deer camp
lease. If you take
lease.
care of it, it's going to last you a long time.
Okay, we mentioned cutting limbs, mentioned the mini excavator. What about a tiller? What would you use a tiller for?
Food plots.
Okay.
If you need to turn that ground over, and a lot of bow hunters, me specifically, I bow hunt primarily.
Yeah.
And you want to get out there early season and plant your food plots and get them tilled up and ready to hunt.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different sizes with tillers too.
So you can get big. I mean, depending on what your tractor can handle.
Right.
You can go to a really small tiller or something big enough that you might have a 10-acre field that you till up for a food plot.
So everything from maybe just a little runway where you kind of have
an
area.
Lane, you might call it.
Or a big open field.
Big open field.
Okay, wonderful. And then box blades. What would you use box
blades, that's going to be primarily for your roads coming in and out.
Okay.
So, I mean, what a box blade's good for is really, you can turn that gravel over on your road and really smooth that road out, because like I said, I mean, over time it's going to have some washouts. Being in the woods or off the beaten path, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of them
have some washouts and stuff. You can really help keep that road smoothed out.
Okay. Avoid hurting yourself. Avoid others getting injured by making sure you take some of these precautions and maybe investing in some of this equipment that we talked about today. And I know you guys have a great area up there at River Valley where questions, I'm sure, are pretty frequently asked about how this stuff works. And are these things, like you mentioned, mini excavator, that's something that you don't have to be, a farmer or anyone who's worked in construction to understand, right? They're pretty basic these days,
They're intimidating when you look at them.
I bet,
but to me, they're easier to drive than your tractor is.
Really?
But we encourage questions. I mean, because a lot of guys think when they get up there, they're asking questions. They might get a little embarrassed for having to ask.
Sure, yeah, it's understandable.
Everybody has. I mean, I had to ask. Everybody has to ask. And so don't be embarrassed to come and ask some questions and see what we can do.
Better to ask a question than have something terrible happen to either you or the equipment that you buy. You don't want that
Absolutely.
to happen either. Okay, remind everybody about your location and where you guys can be found.
So you can see us in Bryant, right off of Interstate 30. You can see us in Sherwood off Landers Road. You know, we've got 2 locations here that we've got a full range of equipment, whether it be your tractors or your construction equipment, all the way down to your mowers and saws and everything like that. So pretty much whatever you're looking for, we can get it for you.
All right, happy hunting, Ethan.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
so much
Thank
for coming
you.
in this morning. We appreciate you stopping by. Coming up.